it's time for us to begin a very special interaction. Business Leader of the Year might sound just like a very cliched set of words to you, but it's a title that carries a whole lot more to it because it implies many, many layers and facets of a very difficult year and one that also highlights some of its big achievements. And I'm very pleased to say that I am joined now by our 2025 ACKO Drive Business Leader of the Year, Mr. Hisashi Takeuchi. It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for this great. It's a great honor for
That's
me
very
to
kind of you,
receive
sir.
such.
And it's great that you are here with us at the award and in Pune. So welcome. And first up, I think I will ask you, Takeuchi-san, if you could tell me, Business Leader of the Year, what does it mean for you?
Of course, I'm very happy and great pleasure to receive such famous award to me. But it's not just for me. This is like everyone who contributed to the success of Maruti Suzuki, especially for the last year. This is a result of everybody's contribution. So I would like to congratulate together with all our stakeholders, especially our staff.
You mentioned, of course, what you say about the team is so valid at any time, but especially last year. It has been a particularly challenging year. A lot of macroeconomic situations which you first can't control, very tough market, very demanding consumer, lots of increased competition. And yet we saw you really consolidating specific areas of the market. We saw you regain certain share. We saw exports going up. So what part of this can you say was, baked in from before, which we started seeing results last year?
So as you said, last year was a tough year. Especially year before was a little opposite because we started with a big, pending booking and our stock was really low. And commodity supply of components is becoming available. So we gear up the production and the sales. So year before was pretty strong. And compared to that, the last year we started in a relatively difficult situation because our starting stock was a little high. Pending booking, it's almost gone. So we started from the scraps last year. But still, we managed somehow to be successful because, like those SUVs we add into our portfolio, it's a full year. We are able to sell for full 1 year. So that contributed to our sales. And also some new model introduction like Swift and also all new Desire. So those models also, push up the sales and also cheer up our sales staff. So that is helping us a lot.
I know a lot of times there's been a lot of conversation about how Maruti was late to the SUV party, but from what you're saying, cars like the Fronx, and then of course even the others, not the SUVs, like you mentioned, the Swift and the Desire, would you say they all came at just the right time? It was the perfect timing that helped.
Of course, always we want more.
Yes.
And we say we need more.
Yeah.
But I think that helping our sales and also not only in Indian domestic market, but the export market, we also did a very good job. And last year we started the export of our Fronx to Japan.
Yeah.
And also June we started the export really at the end of December.
Yeah.
And those two models, especially Fronx, had a very big success in the Japanese domestic market also. So that is really, giving us confidence that this car we produced in India and export to our home country, Japan, and still this car had a very good, acceptance and also from the journalists, very good, report on front. So that is really, giving us confidence.
Now, in fact, that car, even in Latin America, where it goes from here, the reception has been very strong. So I have heard that from many people. And it's, I'm sure, a matter of great pride, like you said, not just for you, but even for the workers at the plant when the car goes to Japan, especially, right? That's a little extra special. You mentioned about how it was a tough year and now things are starting to come around. We've seen absolutely fabulous numbers from you in January. I mean, just literally now released new numbers for the past
January,
month.
we break another record of
It's a huge
our
record.
sales number.
And coming in a month like January, which is not always a very high sales month, is this the start of what's going to be a blockbuster year?
I don't know. It's the situation is a little special because of course every year we try to liquidate all the stock of 24 model year at the end of December, and our stock at the factory for domestic market is I think only 79 units.
Wow.
Or across our factory,
Wow.
the total number of stock for domestic is only 79, and also our network stock at our dealership is all around 1 week stock at the end of December. So we have to, once again, so bring it back to the normal level. So thanks to the very strong retail sales, we successfully reduce our stock, and January is a month that we bring it back to the normal stock level. So that's why wholesale number was very strong. But this is thanks to very strong retail sales in December.
But this year, you are going to come with new products. You will also consolidate cars like the Swift and Desire, which came recently. And you have, of course, announced your intention to continue to expand the portfolio, especially with SUVs. So when it comes to product in 2025, besides the e-Vitara, what will be the big focus for you?
We don't, explain everything, but, of course, our focus is still on SUVs. So our lineup, the existing lineup of like a small cars, whenever times come, we'll do the, minor change or model change, like we did for Swift and, or Desire. But basically, the additional and completely new products will be in the SUV space. So that's what we are going to strengthen.
We're looking forward to that, of course. The big announcement that happened also last month was when at the Auto Expo we spoke about it, of course. This talk about how you want to regain 50% market share. It became a big headline. Toshiro-san spoke about it as well. The intention is, of course, very easy to understand why you want to do that. But it's not easy to say that you will go from 40% to 50%. And you also said that within a year, you will also be the most dominant EV player. Both these things, they're tough targets that you've put in front of your team and your company. How will you achieve them?
The 50% market share,
That's not for the fun 1 year, I
it's
understand.
not something we can achieve within a year.
That I
It's like a
understand.
long-term, our target. Because once we achieve this over 50% market share in India, so I think we always try to keep this target.
Get it back.
Once again, that we should go back to that, level. And as to the EV, I think, EV is not that easy, but the difference between us and other OEM players in India is that we are very strong in export also. So right now, our export share is over 40%. And especially this EV, we are, manufacturing this EV in Gujarat, and this is the only production base for global Suzuki. So we are exporting from Gujarat to over 100 countries. So that is, giving us a very strong volume. So that's why I'm saying that we'll produce, we'll become number one producer of EV in 1 year. And also, the sales in India is not that easy.
Yeah.
So that will take more time. But as far as production numbers concerned, we are quite, optimistic that we can, execute this promise in 1 year.
And the context you have explained, of course, when it comes to being the sole global base for the car, it's also a car that's got a lot of expectation in other markets. I mean, we've seen that when the unveil happened in Milan, there was many markets are very interested in the car. What about that becomes, you think, the most attractive thing? Because, the other thing that was spoken about, I remember in the interaction with Toshiro-san, was it was important to start with a slightly larger, full feature kind of a product. But then it's very important to also look at an EV which would be compact and more affordable and easy for people to, to afford to buy, but also for them to run. How important is that given this context of regained market share and position in the market? You mentioned SUVs. Does EV also play that kind of a role in the future?
The penetration of EV in the Indian market is still low, and so people said that 2025 may become a year of EV. So really, EV to start and increasing its penetration. It may be true, but in order to sell EV, we have to remove the customers anxiety or pain point. So several pain point is there in terms of buying EV. So range anxiety, so charging infrastructure. You never know what is the residual value of the car.
Yes.
So if something wrong, then how quickly we can get the service to this EV. So those things are still not 100% clear in the mind of a customer. But we have to give peace of mind to the customer in order to really increase the sales of EV. So therefore, as we introduced during our motor show in our site, that we are trying to remove those customer pain point one by one. So we are not just offering the EV as a product. We are offering EV with total ecosystem. So that's why I think I'm optimistic that we can get good sales of EV in India with those strong support.
We always talk about residual value when it comes to EVs, and you're absolutely right. It remains a huge point for the consumer, and maybe more so the mass consumer. Maybe for the luxury consumer, that's a little different. But a lot of the luxury players who have brought EVs are launching cars with buybacks and some kind of a safety net for residual value. Are you looking at models like that? Because your competition isn't doing it.
Now, some of the areas of customer we already announced that we are going to do several steps to remove this pain point. And in terms of residual value, still we are studying. So until the start of sales, we will establish the good strategy how to give peace of mind to the consumer when they are going to buy our products.
Well, I can tell you, I'm dying to drive it. So first things for me is to try and get behind the wheel. It looks very interesting, and the car got a lot of attention at the expo. It also got an award from us at the expo. It was the best of show for us. So congrats for that as well.
Thank you very much.
The couple of more things that I want to quickly talk to you about before we end. You mentioned about how the Gujarat plant takes on such a huge role from a global perspective for Suzuki. We have, of course, seen the growing importance of Maruti within the larger Suzuki global empire. How do you see it now? There was a build-up which got us to this place. You mentioned exports have begun in much bigger numbers. Their cars going to so many more markets. But what would you say is India's role or Maruti's role for Suzuki globally?
I think, when the one thing I'd like to talk is parents and the kids. So what makes parents very happy? Or like a teacher and student. What makes teacher very happy? The happiest moment is when your kids is getting bigger than yourself. They're becoming more capable than yourself. For the teacher, if students is becoming very and strong and better than the teacher, that is the best moment for the teacher to fulfill their satisfaction. So right up to now, the last 40 years for Maruti Suzuki, we keep learning from our teacher, the Suzuki Japan. And also the history is a history of learning manufacturing. But now I think not just us, but Indian auto industry is going into the next era, which is we will be much stronger in R&D also, not just manufacturing, but R&D. Then only India auto industry will really become very strong. And so I think that's what we ourselves must strive for it. So we have to become more strong in R&D, and also now new technology is coming in, and not just asking SMC to learn and develop new technologies in that area, but we must do it by ourselves. And sometimes we have to be better than our teacher. That makes our teacher very happy. So I think that is something we have to try. We have to start trying to achieve this goal. In terms of our factories, we are expanding our manufacturing base, and this is something maybe we are ahead of Suzuki Japan, because Suzuki is located in Japan where the market is not that growing, so it's a status quo, or very not growing, not going down, but not growing.
Capital stagnant or something. Yeah.
But here in India, we are on the growth path. So we are setting up a new factory one by one. So we are introducing new technology into our factory, Industry 4.0, Industry 5.0. Many new things will be there in our factory. So in this area, maybe we are trying to catch up the level of our mother, our parent company, Suzuki Japan. But we have to try all those things, so that we will be very strong. And also Indian auto industry and in the component industry to become very strong for the years to come.
No, it also shows the confidence you have in the market, because if you're talking about producing in excess of 4 million cars a year at the end of this expansion, it means the Indian market has also grown to that stage if you want 50% of that. So I like the analogy of the parent and the child, of course, and I completely agree. The thing about R&D that you mentioned is what I wanted to actually ask you about, that there has been a lot of talk about the production expansion. You mentioned the plants where you are either the new plants or the ones where you're expanding the capacity, and that investment has been talked about. But will we see in this coming year, maybe in the next financial year, a specific investment being made towards increasing R&D capability? And would that happen at the existing site that you have in Rohtak, or would it be a new R&D facility?
Actually, the engineering office, we moved from Gurgaon factory to very close to the factory, but go to a new building. And I think around 2,000 engineers start working in the new location. Plus, as you said, the Rohtak facility with tester cores and also lots of laboratories over there. This is like almost similar or same as the one we have in Japan. So we have almost similar facilities already established in Japan. So now we need to expand our activities also. So like a facility is available. Now, how much work we can do and how much performance we can achieve within this facility is all up to us.
Let me ask you this then, Takeuchi-san. Now, we've seen a lot of work that has happened out of India at Maruti Suzuki. We've seen cars that have come out which have done very well in our market. But a product like, say, the Swift or even the e-Vitara, which is not just for India, which is global, could you see end-to-end development happening out of India, and how soon?
Yeah. Some of the models are really global model. But at the same time, some of the model is mainly for Indian domestic market. Of course, some export we always do. But those products which is really developed and designed to suit the Indian market, those ones, I think, starting from the planning stage and like the developing stage, that's all must be done in India, so that the product reflects the what Indian customer wants is in the product. In order to achieve this, I think from the planning stage, we have to do everything in India. So that we are going to start from next finance. Actually, already we are trying to start. And from next financial year, we will make it more stronger for this kind of activity.
So the last area I want to quickly talk about is when you talk about making this kind of investment, it's huge. The scale is huge. The opportunity is huge, but we all understand that it's not easy to always get everything right. How important is collaboration? We have, of course, seen a very strong partnership with Toyota. Are you open to collaborations with other players? And when I say collaboration, I don't mean joint manufacturing or cross-badge products. I'm also talking about maybe just for a specific thing, like maybe just battery or just a particular software development. Do you think that you'd be open to that?
Yeah, we are open for any kind of collaboration. Yeah, of course, collaboration with other OEM is one collaboration, but also to involve more, like our, component supplier, network or supply chain to the even development stage, or I think other than startup, partners to bring startup partners into our actual business. So those, kind of collaboration, we are very open and we'd like to, make it very strong with all of our business partners.
I want to ask you something. I want to hear your personal opinion about it. It doesn't have to be an official one. When we had the press conference with Toshiro-san, and before we asked questions, he just gave us a little bit of a brief. His opening statement was that Suzuki will remain an independent company. And I know where that comes from. There's been a lot of speculation about, especially Toyota. In India, the partnership has actually done really well for you and for Toyota, frankly. Do you see that growing? And why do you think it was important for him to say that? Is it for the shareholders? Is it for the consumers? Who was he talking to? Or was it just the media?
Well, to all the stakeholders, and also again, like collaboration with Toyota. Even for the Toyota, I think they appreciate that Suzuki to become independent and strong, and close the side. We have lots to bring to this collaboration. That is important. So therefore, we have to be strong, and we have to be strong enough as an independent, OEM. So that's what he would like to mention.
And do you see that partnership growing stronger in the future as well?
Partnership, so far going very well, very successful. We are very satisfied, and I believe they are also satisfied with this collaboration.
In fact, what you said about Suzuki brings a lot to the table. So far, we've actually seen Suzuki bring more anyway. So I agree. I think it's not just in India, it's outside now. Those cars are going to other markets. So as we wrap this up, sir, 2025, has just begun. But when you look at the upcoming financial year, what are your key targets? What are your biggest challenges that you see? And how do you plan to take them on?
For the sales and marketing, we have to keep the momentum. And for our target of 50%, we have to try to get closer step by step towards this target. But not just in the sales and marketing. Export business is getting bigger, so we have to keep this momentum, and also we have to manage these new facilities. Now Calcutta is start operation officially from end of March, beginning of April. So production will start, and also we have to start preparation of the next Gujarat factory also. And there are so many things we have to do, like renewable, energy, carbon neutrality at our factories, supply chain. Those are the things we have to do. The recycle network, scrapping. So that also we have to pay attention.
Yeah.
So many, areas.
More 5-star cars as well.
That's also important.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So many, areas we have to pay attention. So there are many challenges.
But you're ready for them.
But we have to be ready, and we have to manage.
No, I think
big challenge.
You're being far too humble. You're doing much better than just managing, and that is what we also all completely believed, and which is what we recognized in awarding you as well. Wish you the best for the coming year. We're very happy that you have the extension and that you'll be in India for a little longer with us. Very pleased to hear that.
Thank you.
And many congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.